How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of I Am Zane Film Class. I am your host, Zane. In today's episode, we are going to talk about some underrated superpowers in filmmaking, building a strong, creative, reliable team. Whether you're on a school project, an indie film, or just launching like a full-blown production, you're only as strong as your crew. So here's 4 tips that you can use to build your team that's not only going to get the job done, but it's going to make the progress so much more rewarding when you build as a team. And it's also fun from start to finish. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, define roles clearly. Here's the thing, confusion on set is the fastest way to lose momentum. So knowing the roles or knowing what your roles are, it makes things move much smoother. For example, if you're directing, don't assume you're the cinematographer handling the lighting unless you've talked about it. The sound person, they shouldn't also be running around grabbing gear unless they are part of the job. So if you're a boom operator, all you're doing is boom. You shouldn't be handling anything else because it becomes overwhelming and it also takes away from the task that you have to do. On my sets, I create a quick team sheet. So the director of photography, the sound, the PA, the editor, and the boom. Everyone knows their lane. It makes things smoother, quicker, and just way less stressful. Here's a quick question. What's one role you loved on set that you would rather be? Leave it in the comments below. Tip number 2, build trust with open communication. Strong teams run on trust. That doesn't just happen, it's built. So making sure you're keeping the connections open and honest is really important, especially if you're running a little late or they're running a little late. You want to be mindful to give people grace because things happen. That's just some bonus film etiquette when running a film production team. Here's one example. On one of my shoots, a teammate spoke up mid-scene and said, "Hey, I think this angle isn't working." At first I was like, whoa, but after a while, I talked it through and I realized that they were actually on to a better visual idea. So I had to be a little more open-minded. We usually come up with better ideas together. So whether you're calling out an issue or admitting that you need help, trust only grows when people feel safe to speak up. Tip number 3, encourage creative input. A great film isn't about your vision. It's the result of every creative brain on set firing off ideas. You want to be able to invite and celebrate input. For example, I had a PA once suggest that we tilt the camera through a chain link fence for a scene. And in that one shot, it ended up being everyone's favorite in the final cut. Now, if I were to put my ego in front of it, I was like, no, I wanted it the way I wanted it, then the project wouldn't have reached its full potential to resonate with the audience. Sometimes you have to trust other people's input. The freshest ideas really come from the most unexpected places, so just drop the ego and lift up voices around you. Your project will shine for it. Tip number 4, recognize effort. We often wait till the film is done to give props, but why wait? Just do it while the people are there, because you just never know. After a long day of shooting, I usually pull my crew together and I give them personal shout out, and I'll make sure to remember what I'm highlighting, what they're being praised for. Like, for example, I had a shoot where I said, great job, Maya, for grabbing those fire B-rolls, or just shout out to Jay for handling the audio, for today since he was going around booming. Those are the moments that really stick with people and they'll get them to stay with you. You want to build that rapport. It has to be a safe place, but also a fun experience too. I know it's all business, but at the end of the day, when we're starting, especially indie filmmakers, we don't have a big budget. The least you could do is show the people working with you some gratitude. Keep the energy high and let folks know that their work matters. So whether you're leading a team or joining one, remember, clarity, trust, collaboration, and appreciation are your keys to a strong creative crew. Let's keep building teams that don't just make films, but make memories while doing it. Time for a weekly shout out. This time it won't be a photographer, it's gonna be a movie. So my shout out for this week is Mickey 17. That movie was absolutely amazing. This is the same director who directed Snowpiercer, which is one of my favorites that I tell people to watch if they're interested in those science fiction political movies. Mickey 17 follows a story about someone who was cloned to work in an intergalactic space station that is on the journey to go into a planet. One of his clones didn't die, and now there's a conflict in between where, well, if I'm the most recent and you are the new clone, though you were here for 2 hours, I am still here, so maybe you should be the one to have to go and disappear. And that's where the conflict begins. But I just found the philosophy of, would you trust your version of yourself to exist in the same world as you? Could it be off planet or the same planet? I don't know. I mean, they look just like you and they share everything about you, but the whole concept was absolutely amazing. Definitely go check out the film. I saw it twice. Mickey 17, Robert Pattinson did his thing. The director, Bong Joon-ho, did an amazing job. I love his work. He also worked on Parasite as well. He's the writer for this film. Definitely go and watch this movie while it's still in theaters. And if you're feeling this episode, drop a comment, hit that like button, subscribe. Stay creative, stay hungry, and I'll be seeing you next week.